Hello, this is Belinda, Aussie Stitcher, coming to you on this 29th of April 2020. How's everyone going? It's been a couple of weeks. Even though we can't go anywhere and do a lot, it's been a couple of weeks. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is coping to the best of their ability. Nothing's really changed here. Living on a farm means that farm work still goes on. We have just started seeding on our farm. So my husband took a week holidays from his job, full-time job, working for another farmer, to go and put as much crop as we can in this week. And then, and then our boss will start seeding and we'll get more into it. So it's been busy. Kids are back at school, physical school. In Western Australia, the Premier locked down the WA border, so you can't actually cross from WA into other states, which I think most of Australia's states have locked down as well. But he's also locked down our region. So in Western Australia, we have different regions. So we've got the Kimberley, Pilbara, the Midwest, the Great Southern, the Gascoyne, Peel, lots of different ones. There's quite a bit. There's like where Kalgoorlie is, there's that massive region. So you can't leave your region unless, your work is in another region, like you're a truckie or something that requires you to cross regions. There's been a death in the family or something like that. Otherwise, you cannot leave your region. Our region hasn't had any cases in 3 weeks. So I felt comfortable, considering I have 2 kids that are high risk, to send them back to school. They wanted to go back, not because they wanted to go to school, because they just wanted to get off this farm and to see other people. But they were awesome. They were didn't question it, didn't ask to go anywhere, didn't push it. But we live on a farm, so they could go for long walks, bike rides, as much time as they want. There is no one around us, so that was quite awesome. Moving on from other talk. I have WITs to show, 2 new starts. My Sassy pouch finally came in. The mailing in Australia has ridiculously slowed down. I think it arrived like 2 to 3 weeks later than it should have. And that's from the coronavirus, not the Sassy Devil's fault. I have some Mania talk. I don't think I've ever really done a lot of starts in a Mania. Last year I did Mirabilia, Mania, and this year I'm looking at doing a couple of starts. So let's get into it. I can actually hear the birds for a change. The weather has cooled down, it is windy and they are loud, and there's a lot of them. I can't control that. I've shut all the doors and windows. I can't control how noisy they are. I'm really sorry if it bugs people. Normally I can't hear it, and people comment like, oh, we can hear your birds. I never hear them. All right, first up in one of my StitchNButton bags, I have Fairy Moon by Mirabilia. And I started this with Jessie Marie 2 years ago. And I have to say, and I think it's where I started, I wasn't in love with this piece. I really was a bit, yeah. And then I did 1,222 stitches. Hopefully that's not annoying people. And I realised how much I love it. Guess you remembered her board today. So I want to do more on this. Like, I want so badly to go back to this. Now here is my before pic, and here is where she is now. And so basically I had this bit done and I did all in here and down. Now this fabric is two-tonal. It's from Chromatic Alchemy, and I don't have the name of it. It's on 32 count Monaco. So just loved stitching this. That's probably closer to what the colour is on the bottom. So, but yeah, just love it. Can't wait to get back to this now. It's amazing how you can sometimes start a project that you think you're going to love. You get into a little bit and you're like, I don't know what it is. Maybe sometimes where you start or the colours, and then you're like, and then you get that little bit further and you're like, I love it. Sometimes I start a whip that I really, really love, and then the further I get into it, I realise I don't like it. But this was the opposite, which was awesome. And if you ever happen to be stitching Fairy Moon, you will need a fat half, which I didn't realise until I went to start her and had to change my original fabric to this one. Okay. Then I got out my beading, and this was supposed to be, like, I wasn't going to show anyone until it's finished. Sophie wasn't going to see it until Christmas. And then the coronavirus happened, and we didn't know how long we're going to be locked down for. And I didn't want to wait and stitch it. If you can hear the beeping, that's our boss doing stuff at the sheds, getting ready for seeding. So I kind of just went, let it go. Just let it go, move on, and we'll go from there. So this is stitched on 32 count opal, fabric from Chromatic Alchemy, and that's where I'm up to. I've done 670 beads and treasures. And I'm loving it. The beading in clusters is a little bit iffy, but I am generally loving it. I will now scroll that down and do another. My goal is to get 500 maybe every 2 to 3 weeks of beads. So it's not overwhelming. I'm not going to get too frustrated, but I'm seeing progress, and hopefully we'll get it done sooner rather than later. Then I pulled out Enchanting Aurora by Joan Elliott. And this is one of those whips that I love. I love this. But it's really hard to stitch. I would recommend you getting the black and white version. I had the coloured and end up having to photocopy that into black and white for self-use. I do still love it, but there is a lot of quarter stitches and it's driving me bonkers. I think I will be fine once, like, I am in here. So it's mainly these to get the detail on these leaves and such. I'm stitching this on 32 count opal from Mermaid's Tails and Angel Wings, or Angel Wings and Mermaid's Tail. I've got to look that up. Okay. Here is my before, and here is where I was. And I only did 692, and then I just needed to stop. And I did in here, and I brought this down. And I still love it. It's not something that I'm necessarily wanting to give up on. The colors are gorgeous, it's bright, it's got all these beautiful animals. I don't know, it's a little bit more trying. But I think once I get this quarter page done, it will make the difference, because I've been stitching on this for like 4 years. So maybe that's also a bit of the issue. I haven't got a lot of progress on it. Who knows? And this is in my bag I got from Kay's Cross Stitch. The purple pansies. My melody bags. I love them. Alright, I had a new start. For Megan's birthday, Stitching Maze, I started Vintage Birds. And that's, I think, close enough to Megan's favourite colour, so that's why I'm using that as a needle minder. I am using all the called for colours, and there's a lot of colours called for. And I'm stitching it on 36 count antique ivory. And it's actually on the bottom half of the fabric that I started Perfect World for. So, and that is my start. And as you can see, there's a slight difference. B's are a different colour, G's are a different colour, I's are a different colour, and M. For the girl who doesn't like changing things, I decided to change it up a bit and put in a colour that we picked that's from Charted and go from there. So, what colour did we all choose? I'll just fold this up first. And as you can see, Perfect World's there. Right. So, Iona chose in the Gentle Arts. I should have been a bit more prepared. Where is it? Iona chose Loganberry, which is a purple variegated colour. And Iona's favourite colour is purple. William chose pomegranate. He wanted a red colour. Okay, and that was all the Gentle Arts. Out of the Week's Dye Works, I chose Deep Sea because my favourite colour is blue. Michaela chose Peacock. She likes blue as well. If she hadn't chosen this, and this is a very variegated, it goes from blue to green. It's a really beautiful one. Where's the rest of the threads? Jeff chose Cadet. And in case anyone doesn't know, Jeff's my husband, because it was green That reminded him a little bit of John Deere green. And Sophie chose Kentucky Bluegrass because she likes bluey green colours. So, there we go. So it just gives it a little bit of personality. And makes it, I think, a little bit more special. So I've got those both charts staying in my beautiful Melody bag. Alright, and then just to really go crazy, I had a new start. For Jessie Marie's birthday, I started Once Upon a Fairy Tale, which I keep calling Once Upon a Time, but it's Once Upon a Fairy Tale by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth. I'm stitching this on 25 count, I think it's off-white. And that's where I am. Oh look, Vicky, we can see blue. And I did 833 stitches on Vintage Birds, and I did 1,613 stitches on Once Upon a Fairy Tale. And this one, you're kind of really getting into a lot of detail quite quick. I should say I'm doing the super size regular colours. So the first page comes down and you're going to get the lantern and the bird. So quite a lot of detail for that first page, but it started and I'm so excited. And that's all my whips. Now on to things that I've brought. I'm going to insert a Heaven and Earth chart that I brought. It's the limited edition Magic Study, wherever it goes. I was going to start this as part of my Mania plans on the 1st of May, but due to some other people having the chart, wanting to start, not having fabric, ordered fabric not here yet, we're going to start when all of us has everything. And so that could be not May, like June onwards. At some point when all of the ducks have lined up, we will start. I don't normally buy limited edition charts because they're a bit more expensive. The exchange rate from Aussie to America suck, but I just love this. It's just, yeah, just love it. Thanks to Jessie Marie's a couple of floss tubes ago, I went onto the Cooler Designs and I brought Celtic Angel. African Angel. And Angel of Fantasy. I also went and brought some floss cards from Spotlight, and in case anyone is not liking the cardboard or had issues, these are a lot thicker than what they used to be. They are going to be more durable. Probably still not as durable as the plastic ones, but definitely more durable than what they have been. And as I said, my sassy pouch stuff comes in, so I'm going to quickly show you that. So it came with a Bilby chocolate that you cannot see because it's eaten, gone, didn't last long at all. Always good to get a bit of a chocky. I got these stackable craft organisers for beads. Cross stitch gauge which will come in handy. I've never had that. The Easter Bilby chart, which is just cute, and very fuzzy fox designs, gives you 3 charts. So there's coloured with symbols, coloured without symbols, and black and white with symbols. So it really does cover whatever your preference will be, which is really awesome. We got a DMC storage tin, and in it was measuring tape, complete blank there. So it has inches and centimetres. Bead nabber. I've heard a lot of good things about this, so I'm pretty keen to get that. Beading needles, which, you know, seeing how much beading I've got to get done, will not go astray. An Easter egg needle minder. 3 lots of beads. I don't know if everyone's was the same, but mine is 00161, 00557, and 02006. Which, with considering the amount of charts I have, I'm sure they will come in handy. Nymo thread, which I was actually going to buy some more, so that's really handy. Plus 3 silks for use. This is CM004, and that is pretty spot colour, what it is. CM003, again, pretty much on par what that is. And the Easter pouch colour. So, all goodies. I have to say I was a little bit wary getting the Easter pouch because, oh, I've got the fabric. Because we're not the biggest Easter celebrators in the world. So, oh, and the fabric is 28 count even weave, called speckled egg, and it's just like a speckled egg. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on this. I've seen someone start a mirror on it, but I do like the colours. Very cool. Now on to Mania plans. Some of these are definite starts, some of these are maybe, some of these, actually all of them could say, if I was supposed to start Petal, I think it was Petal Fairy by Mirabilia with someone, and we've put that back for another month or so because other people wanted to join in and they didn't have fabric. So anything that it was going to be a start but couldn't happen for whatever reasons have been put off. So my Mania plans have changed a lot over the last 2 weeks, from not doing it to doing like 8 charts, cutting it down a bit, adding it a bit. Who knows what my final Mania plans would be. But I would like to start, because I needed a couple more smalls, Beans by Plum Street Sampler, because I can talk English. And this calls for only 2 colours. And I'll be doing the DMC, which is 712 and 3371. I'm also thinking I would like to start End of Forest Grew, because it's huge. I've got the fabric and it's going to take me a lifetime, so I better start now. In it, the middle is, and out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good food, the tree of life, also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. I really hate reading when it's not normal. He that plants trees loves others besides himself. I would have liked to be that clever enough to change the text and do something from like the lyrics, but I'm not anti the text. It's still very much what, you know, we should look after nature. Here are some starts that I'm doing with other people. Sorry for the people that don't like crinkling. I didn't think to take these out. I am going to start Queen Mariposa with Vicky from Reading and Stitches. And I'm going to do this on 28 count linen, but confetti from Hand Dyed by Stephanie's. And she was just, I was flicking through my stash looking for something, saw it and went, why have I not started this? I just need to. And then I messaged Vicky and she's like, let's start it. Forest Goddess. I think I'm starting with Vicky from Reading and Stitches and Sarah from Sarah King Our Stitching. So Forest Goddess. There could be another person in there and I've just missed it. And I'm going to stitch this on Highland by Picture This Plus 28 count Lagana. Okay, with Jessie Marie and Rita Marie, and I think maybe Vicky from Reading and Stitches. We're going to start Moonflowers by Mirabilia, and I'm going to be stitching it on Hyacinth 28 count by Safrim Hand Dyed Fabrics by Laurie, and it's opal. And then with Harriett from Stitching and Recovery, Sarah from Sarah King Our Stitching, I think Vicky from Reading and Stitching, and maybe Zeb from Virtual Stitches. We're going to start Shakespeare's Fairy. I'm not very good at remembering all the people that are like, we're going to join in. Or, are you thinking of starting that? I can start it too. Or in my case, oh, you're going to start that. I've got that chart. I'll join in with you. This is 28 count Abias. I'm not very good with words today. Hand Dyed by Fabric by Stephanie. It's a dark green. It's actually a fat half, which I won't need. And that's it. That is, I think, everything. I am really not good with words today. So we'll see. We'll see what changes, what comes into play, what I decide isn't going to work. I hope everyone is going okay. Chin up. Hopefully it's not too much longer. If you've lost anyone through this time, I'm really sorry and I'm thinking of you. It's hard. Otherwise, happy stitching, happy being at home. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.